Oh, wow. Okay, what is up with that? I think many people, upon seeing that clip, will at the least be horrified by it, and they'll be wondering what's going on. Okay, that clip was sent to me, or a longer clip was sent to me by a friend in a foreign land that was called in to do an evaluation on this dog. This dog's a 4-month-old puppy. And this puppy, whenever somebody touches a collar, the dog begins to lose his mind in the video. Now, before you're too harsh in the comments, I would like to say that I'm giving kudos to my friend here because he reached out to me to try to get some advice on how to resolve this issue. With too many trainers, their ego and dollars get in the way, and at the end of the day, the dog suffers because the dog isn't going to get the best care possible. So before I go any further, if you are interested in behavior and aggression and all those sorts of things, please hit like and subscribe and hit the notify button. That's my payment for doing these videos. It really helps me want to do more of them. So what exactly can you look for in future videos? Well, I'm going to have a variety of subjects on related to aggression. For instance, the source of aggression, how many trainers are taking a very ineffective approach or one that actually makes the dog worse, and finally, my own approach. Now, I realize that the only two things that, or the only thing that two dog trainers will agree upon is that the third dog trainer is wrong. And that might be me. I fully recognize that. But anyways, I would like to at least put forth, the reasons as to why I do what I do, and also share some, case histories of dogs where I have made a big difference. I can give you a recent one. Okay, the dog at the beginning of the video, I gave my friend some advice on how to handle this case. He already has a night and day difference. There was, I will have a clip in the very next video showing the same dog acting completely different when his collar is grabbed. Again, my belief is that a large portion of the training world is feeding the public a very false narrative, and it's doing more harm than good. Anyways, on to the clip. Okay, the first thing that we see here is that the dog has backed himself into a corner. This is classic avoidance. The dog simply wants to escape. This dog doesn't want to run after anybody, attack anybody. He simply wants his collar to be left alone. You can see he bites at the hands a little bit. That's simply an effort to get the trainer to leave him alone. You now get some escalation where there's some vocalization where, the dog's trying to sound very threatening. That's not really a very playful bark. It's almost more like a growl. The trainer persists, trying to grab the collar. You can see the nose peel back between the eyes. The dog is whale-eyed, and that vocalization is terrible. It sounds like two pterodactyls trying to engage in a reproductive type process. The second the trainer leaves the collar alone, again, the dog de-escalates. Again, this isn't a dog that wants to engage in combat. He simply wants his collar to be left alone. Again, he's biting at the hand. Some might say that it's play. You can see the tail wagging. People often think that a wagging tail means that the dog is happy. It simply means excitement. There's various hormones being pumped into his bloodstream. You can see here, the dog does warm up a little bit. But again, the second the trainer tries to touch the collar, what does the dog do? He retreats. So if anybody wants to suggest this is just play and not of any concern at all, I'm going to strongly disagree. Okay, after watching that clip, I'm hoping most people can agree that the dog wasn't simply playing. There was some fear-based behavior in there. That fear-based behavior often gets labeled as fear-based aggression. Personally, I have a problem calling it or using the word aggression, because when I think of aggression, I think of an offensive type action.
I'm gonna f you up.
In other words, you have an animal or person that is initiating violence and not simply trying to defend from a violent act or something that they believe could translate into an act of violence. If you consider the dog in the video, he was simply trying to escape things he was uncomfortable with. He wasn't running out and going after the trainer. So one of the big reasons that I'm going to be doing a lot of videos on fear-based aggression is because it's the most common form of aggression that pet trainers see. I see dogs that have fear-based behavior on a regular basis. It's super common. The other thing, really important thing to recognize is that most of these bites on children are due to fear-based behavior. Now, typically, the world that we live in, when a dog bites a child or a person for any reason, the dog is simply labeled aggressive. Dogs are really bad at telling their side of the story as to what happened. In the case with children, the child most often did something to agitate the dog. The dog simply didn't bite out of the blue. There were 10,000 warning signs. The parent chose to ignore it. The unfortunate part is that most often these dogs pay the ultimate price. Now, let's couple that with trainers often doing things that simply make the behavior worse. You don't fix fear by attempting to punish it. Okay, I think that's really important to understand. If a dog or any other animal is afraid of something and now you're trying to punish that fear, most likely you're going to instill that fear even further. So you have some really bad approaches being taken by a lot of trainers. In subsequent videos, I'm going to get into a lot of what I do, which I do think is better. It's not anything unique. There are lots of other people doing similar things, but unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are still living in the 1960s with their approaches, which is militancy for everything. But anyways, thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. And oh yeah, I will have the clip of the exact same dog, or a clip of the dog that appeared in the video today, showing a completely different behavior, a turnaround. It was really easy for the trainer to do. And, I only spent 10 minutes on the phone with that trainer telling him what to do. And he was able to make a difference within a 2-week period. But again, thanks, and see you in the next one.